Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brandon, and welcome to a brand new series here on the channel. Brand new series. I'll get to that in a bit. Brand new series on the channel. If you guys are excited for our Denver Broncos franchise here on Madden 23, hit that like button. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Real quick, I tried to start this series a month ago. We all know Madden 23 stinks, and the franchises all got just destroyed, at least the majority of them, including mine. So luckily I had just started, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I feel for any of you guys who lost franchises that you guys were really far in. That really sucks. I mean, to be fair, I lost my Seattle one, and I was over, or I just finished the first year. I think I lost that one too. So it has not been a good year. We shall see if this franchise lasts. I hope it does. It should. But Madden, it's up to Madden. It's up to Madden to just make a working game. It's pretty simple. So anyways, hope you guys are excited. Let's get on to it real quick. I am a Broncos fan. I worked in sports media here in Colorado, used to. There's no money in sports media. Oh, well, sports radio specifically. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. But I've watched this team very closely over the past, I don't know, 10 years, and specifically over the last 6. It's been a disaster, and this team continues to try to go against the grain. You know how everyone says, oh, the NFL is a copycat league? Not the Broncos, that's for sure. No, they see someone succeed in a certain way, they're like, okay, we could do that, but we're gonna try the exact opposite way and try and beat you like that. No, that fails every time. So yeah, this team stinks. Their ownership doesn't know football. They're learning, but they don't know football right now. George Payton, I don't think is a very good GM at all. His draft has been okay, but I don't think it's as good as people think it is. And obviously some really bad head coaching decisions. Now, real quick, while we go ahead and take a look at this roster, I'm going to go over this series. I'm going to treat this series as if I'm taking over this team. Okay? There's a difference between what I think this team should do, which is what I'll do in this series, and what this team will do. Because we all know this team will continue to try to win against the way that everyone else is winning. And look, it's not going to work. It's going to continue not to work. But I'll say this. I think this team wins 8 to 10 games next season. I do. And no, I don't think that's a good thing. They will win 8 to 10 games. They will sneak into the playoffs, and they will get smoked by either Cincinnati, Buffalo, or Kansas City in the wild card round. That is just what is going to happen. And everyone's going to be all excited here. Bronco fans are going to be all excited because they're winning games. And oh, hey, at least we made the playoffs, right? That's what our goal is now, Broncos fans. That's the goal. What happened to this team being expectations being Super Bowl? No, that's gone. Okay, I guess we're the new Lions, we're the new Browns. All we care about is barely making it into the playoffs, right? That's the goal, huh? But that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. I think they hire either. I don't think they hire Sean Payton. And first of all, if they hire Sean Payton and give up a first round, I might just drive my ass to Kansas City and buy a Mahomes jersey. I'm jumping ship. Okay, like done. Giving up a first round pick when you don't have a second round pick, stupid. Absolutely stupid. And people are like, well, that's a late first round pick. Yeah, that player could help the team. Like, this team stinks. All right, like, come on, wake up, people. So I don't think it's gonna be Sean Payton. I think actually Sean Payton will head to Arizona. I think that makes the most sense. We'll see, but I think, well, if the Cowboys or Chargers lose in the wild card round and they fire Staley or Mike McCarthy, I think Sean Payton goes one of them. But if all stays the same, at least the available head coaching spots, I think Arizona makes the most sense. Jim Harbaugh, I think he stays in Michigan. I don't think I think he's just trying to get money out of Michigan. So I think he stays in Michigan. If he does come to the NFL, I actually think Indy makes a lot of sense for him. He's going to have a lot of free reign there to do what he wants to do. They have a high draft pick. He can get his quarterback. I just think that makes the most sense for Indy and for Jim Harbaugh. So where does that leave the Broncos? I think the Broncos hire Dan Quinn. Do I think that's the right decision? Hell no. No, absolutely not. But I think that's what they do. Dan Quinn was the DC in Seattle. He's worked with Russ, kind of worked, right? He's been on the same team as Russell Wilson. And he's led a team to a Super Bowl. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but I just don't like the direction, right? But that's what I think is going to happen. And he's going to bring in one of the offensive coordinators that worked with Russell Wilson in Seattle. And it will be back to run the ball, bootleg, play action, all that jazz, and putting Russell Wilson into a box because he's only good in that box. He's not Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, whatever. He is not the system. He needs to fit into a system and a specific system, and that's what's going to happen. Because the Broncos have put way too much money into him, and they're not going to be willing to just cut ties. And here's the other thing. George Payton is still the general manager here in Denver. Why would George Payton and look in the press conference? Greg Penner said that the head coach and the head coaching search and all that will run through him. Understandable. He also doesn't know much about football in general. He's learning, and he's going to lean on George Payton. Why would George Payton push for Jim Harbaugh or Sean Payton? Because essentially, they leapfrog him in personnel decisions. So George Payton is essentially replacing himself. It's going to be Dan Quinn or DeMeco Ryans. I think that also is a possibility. And that's just what's going to happen. Broncos fans are probably going to be upset. But that's just the reality of it. Yeah. I mean, I think the Broncos are just, at this point, they have to try to fix Russell Wilson. At least they believe they have to fix Russell Wilson. In my opinion, they should just move on when they can. Anyways, let's get on to this team. Left tackle, obviously Garrett Bowles is out. He's going to be out for a while. I don't think he's going to be back by the season start. So we might have to figure out left tackle and right tackle this offseason through the draft or free agency. Dalton Risner, we'll see if we can bring Risner back just to make things a little bit easier on ourselves. We're going to, I think in real life he leaves, but let's see if we can bring him back. Hopefully we can. Lloyd Cushenberry will be the starting center next year. Quinn Miners will be the starting right guard next year. Albert O, Greg Dulcich. Albert O was in the doghouse. Rosberg comes in, brings him out of the doghouse. He plays pretty well, especially against the Chargers. He's okay. I really like Greg Dulcich. It'll probably be just 1-2 them next season. I'm not going to look to upgrade a tight end spot, but at least this offseason. But next offseason and following offseason, maybe we'll go ahead and look. Wide receiver, Cortland Sutton. I just don't think, I don't think Cortland Sutton's that good. He's a fine receiver. He's not a wide receiver one. We're going to be actually looking to move off of Cortland Sutton this offseason. See if we can get a draft pick for him and try to get some youth into this team, right? Improve this roster. And we have to do that through the draft. We just have to. So Cortland Sutton, I think I'm going to look to trade. I love Jerry Jeudy. So he's going to be wide receiver number 1 going into next season, which is awesome. I thought he finished the season incredible. He's a very, very smart wide receiver. Very smart. And he has a lot of talent, obviously. He's really fast. I don't think people realize how fast Jerry Jeudy is. He's super explosive. He is awesome. I'm really excited to see the future of Jerry Jeudy with a good quarterback, which may never happen. And then I like KJ Hamler. He's just got to stay healthy, man. Like, I don't know. You got to stay healthy. But wide receiver is obviously a position to upgrade. Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver 1. We'll see what happens with KJ. Other than that, we might have to upgrade that, whether it's in free agency or the draft. Latavius Murray, I thought, filled in for Javonte fairly well. Chase Edmonds is a solid running back. We'll probably try and bring those two back. And obviously Javonte Williams. I'm nervous about Javonte in real life because he really tore up that knee. And I don't know if he's going to be the same guy, which is very concerning. I'm not opposed if Bijan Robinson drops. I'm not opposed. I saw that in a mock draft like a month ago, and a lot of people were outraged. But I was like, well, here's the thing, and we'll get to Russ here. We're gonna have to keep Russell Wilson for another year. We just have to. I mean, it's too much. It's too much money. It's gonna kill our cap. We have to keep Russell Wilson for at least one more season. Next season, I think we can cut him. Or, well, we could probably trade him. We got to build him up to where we can trade him. I think that's the goal, right? Or we build him up to where he's actually a really good quarterback and we can win with him. In order to do that, we do need weapons, and we're not going to do that. I'm sorry. I like Latavius Murray. I like Chase Edmonds. That's not going to work with those two. Getting someone like Bijan Robinson would actually really help this offense. We can lean on him in the run game. We can fix the O-line. We're really leaning to the run game. Bijan Robinson with Javonte, split carries, keeping them healthy would be beautiful. Using Bijan Robinson in the passing game, because he's excellent in as a receiving back. I think it would be sick. I really do. I'm leaning towards him in our first round. And then you're saying, well, what about offensive line? Well, here's the thing. We need tackle. If we can keep Reisner, we don't need interior offensive line. We need tackle. All the good tackles will be taken by pick 29. That's just the reality of this situation. So we can maybe trade Sutton, get a second, grab one of those tackles in the second round, but that first round pick, let's grab a weapon. Maybe even wide receiver if one of the wide receivers drop that we like. But getting Russell Wilson a big time weapon to help us out there, I think is paramount. And I don't think Javonte is going to be back by week 1. I don't think he's going to be even back by week 8 next season in real life. In Madden, I think he will. But it's a concern, especially when you tear up your knee. You're not going to be the same that next season. They have to figure out the running back position. Free agency, I don't think there's going to be anyone worthwhile. And you're going to have to pay them, right? So I think the best way is actually to draft a running back. Bijan Robinson, if he drops, I think is an option. Now let's talk about this defense. Justin Simmons is phenomenal. He's incredible. He's a top 5 safety, maybe top 3. One of the best ball hawk safeties in the league. He's 28 years old. And unfortunately, not only do we have to make a decision that's best for this team, but we have to consider Madden and how Madden works. If you guys don't know, once players reach 28, 29, they start to decline. It's just how Madden works, especially with, skill positions and safeties and corners, which is unfortunate because I would love to keep Justin Simmons, but we could get so much for Justin Simmons. And at this point, I mean, the question though is, are we trying to win or not? Because I would love to bring back Justin Simmons and try to win. But here's the other thing. There's some really good safeties in this draft class. Really good safeties in this draft class. Maybe we trade Justin Simmons. Maybe we can get 2 picks out of it. And maybe we can bring in a young safety. It's on the board. I'm not opposed to it. I know a lot of Broncos fans love Justin Simmons. I love Justin Simmons. But at 28 years old, it just, with Madden, with where we're headed, I don't think we're going to be very good next year. I think we have to trade Justin Simmons. And I think that's what we're going to do. Because here's the thing. He's going to regress. he's gonna be down to 90, 89. We're not gonna be able to get as much for him as we can right now, and that's the dilemma. So I think Justin Simmons will be traded. I'm sorry. It sucks, but I think he's gonna be traded, and we're gonna elevate Caden Stearns, PJ Locke, and then maybe we draft the safety. Linebackers. Baron Brown is awesome. He's gonna be our edge rusher that we're gonna be focusing on. Super excited about that. Nick Bonito on the other side. Now, I think Nick Bonito can be a good player. We'll see. He's definitely, it's on the board for us to upgrade him, not this offseason, but the following offseason. But I want to see what he can do this season. Alex Singleton was awesome. How old is Alex Singleton? He's 28. See, I was hoping he was like a little bit younger than that. Man, all right. Well, he played great. We're gonna run through him. Inside linebacker is something that we definitely will look to upgrade. So Alex Singleton, and then maybe we can bring in someone else. Griffith will probably move on from Simon Josie Jewell. Maybe we can get some picks for those guys. And maybe we can draft an inside linebacker finally. I know Broncos fans have been wanting an inside linebacker in the draft for a very long time, me included, and I think this year might be the year. The other safety, obviously, Kareem Jackson, we're going to let go. At corner, Pat Surtain is incredible. I love Pat Surtain. He's our corner of the future, obviously. I still would have taken Justin Fields, but I'll let that go because Pat Surtain's great. The other corner position is, I think, a bit of a disaster. I might try to trade. Wait, did they move on from Ojimudi in real life? I have no idea. I have not seen him play in so long. But Damari Mathis, I love Damari Mathis. So immediately he goes up to corner number 2. 93 speed. Obviously his coverage skills need to improve, but Damari Mathis is awesome. And then Quan Williams, I believe, will still have a contract. So we'll just roll a Quan in the slot next year. And I think we'll be fine. I think the secondary is actually solid. Damari Mathis is really, really good. So the defensive line. Draymond Jones, we're franchise tagging and we're bringing him back. I don't care what it takes. We're bringing Draymond Jones back. Here's the thing, though. At defensive end in Madden, I don't think he's going to cost that much. I think we're going to give him a little bit more money. I think in real life, he could probably get 18 mil. I don't think we're going to give him 18 mil in the game, but we'll probably jump that up to like 14 or 15. In the game, we're going to be able to sign him for like 5. To me, that's just not like realistic. So we'll offer him more money. But that's going to take up quite a bit of cap. DJ Jones will be back in another year. And then the other defensive end position, we're going to have to look to maybe upgrade in free agency or the draft. But we need to bring in another defensive end. And then I would like to bring in a nose tackle in a future draft at some point. McManus we'll keep, but we're probably going to move off of McManus soon. I think we should bring in a new punter as well. But that's the roster. That's what we're more than likely going to do in this series. Let's go ahead and sim the playoffs and see what happens. So I'll show you guys the playoff bracket. Like I said before, I tried to, or I don't know if I said this, but I tried to you can only start in week 10 for some reason. I don't know what Madden is doing. So I tried to get it as best as I could. Obviously the Bills Bengals game I had to pick, so I put the Bengals to win so that way Kansas City would get the 1 seed and the bye. So that's why the Bengals are the 2 and the Bills are the 3. There was nothing I could do, because if I picked the Patriots or if I picked the if I had picked the Ravens to beat the Bengals, the Ravens would be the 3 seed. So I was like, I can't really do that. So this is just what it's going to look like. The NFC's fine. The AFC's a little bit weird, but it's just the 2 and 3 are swapped. I mean, yeah, couldn't really fix that in Madden manually. And obviously the statistics are all messed up because, like I said, I could only start in week 10 for some stupid reason. So and like also 2023 draft class is in here. We're all good. I'm using Bengals draft class. So yeah, let's go ahead sim the wild card round and see what happens. I'll probably be posting this video before Saturday. I think I'll probably be posting this on Friday. Whoa, okay. The Cincinnati Bengals lose to the Miami Dolphins. Now, I bet Tua played, so that's a bit weird. Cincinnati in real life, I think, wins. I think Buffalo beats Miami. I think Cincinnati beats Baltimore. Obviously, both of them are playing backup quarterback, so like should be easy wins for Cincinnati and Buffalo. I do think Jacksonville beats the Chargers. So that would leave it as it would actually be Kansas City versus the Jags, Cincinnati, and Buffalo playing. I think is what would happen in my scenario. In the NFC, Seattle beats San Fran. Wow, I think San Fran's going to come out of the NFC and will be in the Super Bowl. And then I think the Giants actually beat the Vikings, and I actually agree. I think Tampa beats Dallas. I don't think Dallas is very good. And then yeah, like I said, I think San Fran gets to Super Bowl. In the AFC, I think Kansas City gets to the Super Bowl. I think it'll be Kansas City and Cincinnati in the AFC Championship game. I don't think we get the game in Atlanta. I guess they announced today that if it's Kansas City and Buffalo, it's at a different stadium, different city, and I think it's Atlanta. I don't think that's going to end up happening. I think it will be Cincinnati and Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. But I think a neutral site AFC Championship game would be a lot of fun. All right. So on to the AFC Championship game. Kansas City loses to Miami. Again, Tua is playing. So that's messing a few things up. The Eagles lose to the Seahawks. Nice. Minnesota beats Tampa. Buffalo beats Jacksonville. So it's Buffalo, Miami versus, and obviously those two play in the first round, right? So that's literally impossible to happen. And then Minnesota and Seattle. Weird. This is gonna be a weird Super Bowl. Very odd Super Bowl. And it will be the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks, 2 7 seeds. Okay, gotta love Madden Sim. Oh, that's the thing. All right, way to go, Madden. Love your simulations. That's so fun. All right, let's look at the yearly awards here. Actually, we'll sim one more week and just look at the general ones. Patrick Mahomes will more than likely win MVP in real life as well. Defensive player of the game, I'm guessing, will be Nick Bosa, right, in San Fran. I'm guessing Seattle wins the Super Bowl, so they get a top 5 pick and they won the Super Bowl. That's the kick to the nuts. Awesome. Geno Smith wins the finals Super Bowl MVP. Mahomes regular season MVP. Nick Sirianni coach of the year. Cooper Kupp offense player of the year. Well, that's not gonna happen. Micah Parsons defense player of the year. Again, I think it's Bosa. Offensive rookie of the year is Chris Olave. I think it's actually gonna be Garrett Wilson. Defensive rookie of the year, Aiden Hutchinson. No, I think that will either be Tariq Woolen. Actually, I think it's gonna be Woolen, but we'll see. Hey, Tariq Woolen's a Super Bowl champ apparently. Yeah, that's bizarre. That is very, very bizarre. We're not gonna go ahead and upgrade. We'll just let the CPU upgrade those guys, and let's get to this off season. We're gonna have to re-sign some dudes, so let's get to that real quick, and let's make sure we're able to re-sign Draymond Jones, and let's see if it's possible to bring back Dalton Reisner. That's a big one because I don't want to have to find an inside. We already have to find 2 tackles. I really don't want to have to find a guard. Well, let's focus on, I know Draymond Jones doesn't want to be here. Ooh, you know what? Dalton Reisner wants to be here. Sweet. Okay, so we'll probably be able to bring him back. He's not that expensive either. So he only wants like $3 million a year. Obviously that's not gonna happen. in real life. So let's go ahead and just give him I mean, I don't know really how much he's gonna make, but I think in general he's gonna make about 12 a year, probably more, but let's just put it at 12. And yeah, let's just keep it there, or let's up it. Or yeah, let's make the cap hit. This is all weird. Let's make the cap hit like 12 a year. Yeah, let's do something like that. Obviously he's gonna sign this, but I feel like this is fair. All right, so I think that's fair. He's gonna decline all that money. All right, well, no, you're staying, and we're franchise tagging your ass. All right, so Draymond Jones is back. Dalton Reisner, looks like he wants to stay, which is awesome. I would love for him to stay. Let's offer him a 3-year deal, and offer is perfect. Let's go. So Dalton Reisner is back. I don't think he stays in real life, but I would love to keep him. Latavius Murray, let's sign a cheap 2-year deal. Sure. He's gonna play for a new team next year. All right. See ya. Let's see. Griffith, we're gonna let go. Cameron Fleming. Let's bring Fleming back for it. Oh man, $3 million a year. Yeesh, that's a lot of money. But what if we can't find anyone better? Let's see if he takes that. He does. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Worst case, we could just figure out right tackle then and roll with him. PJ Locke, I would like to bring back. Let's do a 2-year deal. That's fine. And he's gonna go ahead and stay. And Singleton. Let's go ahead and bring him back as well. I thought he was really good. 2-year deal, and he will be our starter at inside linebacker, and then hopefully we can find someone in the draft. And let's go ahead and bring back. Is there anyone else we want to bring back? I don't think so. He's saying Bassie. Meh. I think they actually bring back Bassie in real life. But I'm good. So let's go ahead and advance to free agency and see who else we want to bring onto this team. But for the most part, I think starters wise, I think we're fine. Actually, let's look at real quick. Let's look at salaries and see who we can cut and open up some money real quick. So we can save a lot of money on Glasgow, which we are going to. So let's go ahead and actually we could probably trade him. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe we can put him in with like a Justin Simmons deal or something. Simmons, we can save some money off of it as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Same with Darby. Garrett Bowles, we can't because he's hurt. Who else can we save money on? Chase Edmonds. Okay, we'll look to trade Chase Edmonds if we can. Jacob Martin, I don't think, I mean, I guess we could probably throw him in a trade. So he's making so much money. Why? Goodness gracious, man. What is this team doing? This is a disaster. All right, we've got a lot of work to do. Let's make some trades, try and get some draft picks, pair some guys, see what we can get. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. First trade of the series. And I know Bronco fans, I know. I love Justin Simmons too. But we're moving on. And Philly makes a lot of sense. They're losing in a safety is what it's looking like. They need to bring in someone. They're ready to win right now. And they have 2 first-round picks. So we are taking pick 11. We're also sending them. They need offensive line help and depth. So we're sending them Glasgow. And a 7th-round pick. Or pick 11 of this draft. I think we're going to actually use that to trade down a bit. And gain some more picks. Because obviously we don't have a lot of picks. So the goal is to maybe try and get a second, another third, right? So, you know, we want to get as many picks as we can, try to recuperate a lot that we lost with Russell Wilson, and also get some future firsts to help us in the future. So that's the big one. That's a really big one, but I think it's what we had to do. Another trade here, Cortland Sutton is headed to Tennessee along with Mike Purcell and a 6th round pick. We are receiving Robert Woods to match the salary cap, and then we're gonna go ahead and figure out what to do with Robert Woods. That's just a bad contract for them. They get younger and better at wide receiver with Cortland Sutton. They get a solid defensive tackle that they were very interested in. They get a 6th. We get a 2nd round pick, and we open up some cap space, at least an opportunity to open up cap space using Robert Woods. So a solid trade there. And now it's about seeing what we could do with Robert Woods, whether we just cut him or whatever. But yeah, that was the next trade there. Let's see. Robert Woods is, oh yeah, we could just cut him. We could just flat out cut him. I mean, I don't think we're really gonna get anything for him, so let's just go ahead and we'll go ahead and cut him. And then I guess Tennessee could have done that, but whatever. And then let's see, what else do we want to do here? We're gonna look to move Ronald Darby if we can. Man, Chase Edmonds is making so much money. I don't think we're gonna really get much for Chase Edmonds. He's 27, but I'm gonna go ahead and release Chase Edmonds too. Opens up a lot more cap space there. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna get much. I don't really think we're gonna get much for Darby, but we can try. Same thing with Jacob Martin. I'm gonna go ahead and try to trade Darby and Martin maybe together, and then that should just about do it for guys that we want to move on from. We just got a 6th round pick for Jacob Martin. I was about to cut him, but we got a 6, so we can use that in a future trade. So that opens up a decent amount of money for us as we enter free agency. So the big holes, safety, obviously we let Justin Simmons go, but I think we're gonna go with the draft for that. Bringing in another running back could be something that we do. Maybe bringing in someone like Tony Pollard could make sense. But again, he's going to cost so much money. I don't know if I want to spend that much money on a running back. Defensive end, we could try and bring in. Obviously, we have Gregory on the outside as well. So we could even move Gregory to the inside. I might just do that. So like I said, I don't want to go crazy in free agency. Obviously, offensive line might be where we head. I'm pretty comfortable with corner, too. At least right now. Like, there's no one in free agency I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to go after that guy. So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know who I really want to look at. I guess the main thing would just be getting depth and then offensive line help. So let's go ahead and do that. So the free agency list isn't anything big. Just grabbing some depth and a punter. So bringing in Tommy Townsend, 90 something, 94, 95 kick power, pretty solid. Sheldon Rankins at defensive tackle, just bringing another defense tackle behind DJ Jones, who is cheap. Jordan Atkins, just a veteran tight end to fill in that tight end room. Jermaine Ifedi at right tackle, so he's our backup plan if we don't draft a tackle, which is not a great plan. So we will find a way to grab a tackle. Austin Blythe at center, getting some more depth in the interior offensive line. Eric Saubert just bringing in as a backup tight end. Just again, more tight end help. And then we're bringing in PJ Walker. Not the greatest backup. We're gonna look in the draft as well in the late rounds to see if there's anyone we might want to just take a shot at. But obviously the goal is to see if we can fix Russell Wilson and then maybe up his trade value so we can move on after next year. But just bringing in PJ Walker as a backup quarterback. So that's the plan. That's who we grab. Again, nothing too exciting, but I mean, that's just what we got to go with. Darby, we're gonna trade when he's healthy, and same with Garrett Bowles. I think we're gonna move on from Garrett Bowles. So those two will be traded in the regular season in a couple of episodes. We've got mock draft number 2, and Chicago obviously getting the first overall pick. They might take a left tackle. Makes a lot of sense. They should also trade down, but it doesn't happen very often in Madden ever. So they're most likely not going to trade down. But Broderick Jones does make a lot of sense for Chicago. Bryce Young at 2 to Houston makes a ton of sense. Will Anderson falling to Arizona would be crazy. CJ Stroud to Indy makes sense. Tyree Wilson to Seattle. Will Levis to Detroit. Interesting. Miles Murphy to the Raiders. Peter Skoronski to Tennessee. Paris Johnson, another left tackle. This is what I'm talking about. All those good left tackles right off the board in the top 10. Brian Breezy at 10, and then Keely Ringo at 11. We're not going to do that. More than likely, we're going to trade down from pick 11, just gain some more picks. But Brian Branch, I would love to get, but I'm not taking Brian Branch at 14, so we'll see. Jalen, this is a weird mock draft, by the way. I don't think this is how it goes. Jalen Carter falling all the way to 15 is nuts. So kind of interesting. Michael Mayer at 19. Noah Sewell would be awesome, but inside linebacker in the first round. Don't love BJ Ojolari to Dallas. Quentin Johnson falling all the way to 23 is absolutely insane. Man, that'd be tempting, but we're not going to take a wide receiver. Antonio Johnson, another safety that I really like, that we could maybe take. Jordan Battle as well. Bijan Robinson going all the way down to 27. If he drops that far, we're taking him. Jackson Smith and Jigba going to Buffalo. Josh Downs to Minnesota. Interesting. And like I said, I mean, unless we trade up into the first and grab one of these tackles, I guess we could do that, right? Maybe that's an option. Maybe what we'll probably do is hold on to pick 11, see if one of those tackles fall to 9 or 10. Maybe we try and move up, and then keep our I guess 24th overall pick, and maybe take Bijan Robinson if he's there, or Quentin Johnson would be nuts if he's there. But interesting, very interesting. Okay, got a 5th-year option here, and it's for Jerry Jeudy. Yes, we will be accepting his 5th-year option. Absolutely, no question. He's our best receiver, and I think he's super talented. So the goal for him is to have a big year next year, like 80 plus, even 90 plus catches, over 1,300 yards. Like that's a goal for us and for him this upcoming season. We want to get him the ball. He's got to stay healthy, and we got to get him the ball. Russ has got to get him the ball, but yeah, that's somebody who we definitely want to have a lot of opportunities. Let's look at mock draft 3, see how different this is. Jones going 1, Young, Anderson, Tyree Wilson going 4 to Indy. I think they take a quarterback, but we'll see. CJ Stroud falling to the Lions. Miles Murphy to the Raiders. Peter Skoronski to the Titans. Paris Johnson to the Jets. See, in that case, see if Paris Johnson's there at 9, maybe we move up, right? That could happen. We'll see. Will Levis going to Pittsburgh? Okay, that can't happen. Jesus. Jordan Battle at 24. Again, though, Bijan Robinson is there. Very, very interesting. I would love to have a 3rd round pick or 3rd first round pick, because getting one of those safeties, a tackle. Oh man, I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. Getting a tackle in the top 10 would be big. But there's also I believe it's Zion Johnson that we could take in the 2nd round. So I don't know. Let's do some private workouts and let's look at tackle and see what are some options here. So Paris Johnson, Skoronski, Jones, they're all gonna be gone. But in the 2nd round, taking someone like Anton Harrison, Zion Nelson, who I really like, not Johnson, Zion Nelson, but he's a 3rd to 4th round guy who's dropping. He's an option that I really like. I would like to know more about him. Let's go with Harrison as well, and let's go with these are all 3rd to 4th round guys. We don't need interior help, not really. Although, I mean, some of these guys would be decent options. So let's go with Johnson, Nelson, and let's go with this. Maybe let's look at inside linebacker here. Henry Tuatua. He'd be interesting. That would be actually a really nice pick. All right, let's go with those 3 and see what information we can find about those 3. But yeah, I don't know. Tackle, inside linebacker, obviously safety, maybe running back. We'll see, but I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting draft. We've got a lot of options. All right, so Harrison here is 6'5", 309. B awareness, B impact blocking, B pass block. Has a motor that runs through the whistle. Lacks discipline resulting in avoidable penalties. That's a concern. Not that fast. 5th in bench press though, which is solid. Shuttle 13th. I mean, he's okay. B pass block. A run block power. C run block finesse. His run block is either a B or a C. Because of the power, I'm guessing he's a B. So, I mean, if he's there in the mid-second, maybe, right? Maybe that's something that we do. But we know Zion Nelson's going to be there in, you know, maybe early 3rd or whatever. Much faster. Not the strongest. But, man, A lead block, B pass block, B run block, so we know that. More of a finesse player. But he's a guy that if we run, you know, kind of a zone run scheme, and he's the guy that's pulling a lot and being a lead blocker, like, I don't know. I think Zion Nelson makes a lot of sense for us. That might be the option if Skoronski or Johnson are taken in the top 8 or even top 9. I mean, Skoronski's good. He's really good. He'd be awesome. Or obviously Johnson. He'd be awesome too. I mean, these guys are elite. So, I don't know. We'll see. But Zion Nelson's an option. I mean, again, we could take 2 of them, right? So we could always do that. So I don't know. One of these guys would be nice. At safety, I would like to take a safety, and getting someone like Jordan Battle would be awesome. Getting someone like Brandon Joseph, Brian Branch, those would be solid picks as well. Brandon Joseph we could take in the 3rd round or late 2nd. So those are options there. I'm good at corner. Inside linebacker, Henry Tuatua would be really nice. A tackle. Ran a 4.62, so he's decently fast. D zone coverage, which isn't great. That obviously needs to be improved, but he's a solid player to take in the 2nd round if he's there. Would be interesting. Would be an interesting pick. I don't know if we want to go defensive tackle, but I think we're good at defensive end. Wide receiver could be an option down the board. Going with someone, I mean, he's gonna be gone though. I don't really want to use a top 1 or 2 round pick on a wide receiver. Jermaine Burton could be kind of interesting. Ran a 4.44. Again, only C catching. The receiving class isn't that great. Marvin Mims is an option as well. He's not the fastest. I don't know. I'm probably not going to really look at receiver unless someone really drops. More than likely, we won't take a wide receiver. We're going to be keeping an eye on Bijan Robinson. We could also take a running back later on. Someone like Zach Evans. even, you know, in round 2, someone like Gibbs or Bigsby. And then for quarterback, I mean, Hendon Hooker could be an option that we just take, but I would want him to drop. I'm not taking him in the second, so he would be a late 3rd or 4th round pick. So yeah, I mean, Hendon Hooker would be interesting just to bring in someone young. If Russ isn't working out, we could just throw him in and see how he does. But I don't know. That's like a 4th round pick for me. So I don't know. Let's get in the draft and see what happens. The 2023 NFL draft is here. And with the first overall pick, the Chicago Bears take Broderick Jones, left tackle out of Georgia. Good pick for Chicago. Obviously, in real life, I think they're going to trade this down. But a left tackle makes a lot of sense for Chicago. It does. Maybe trading down and grabbing one of the elite pass rushers could be something that they do as well. But Broderick Jones going first overall. The Houston Texans select Bryce Young. I think that was probably the easiest pick of the draft. Arizona will go ahead and take Will Anderson Jr. With the 4th overall pick, the Indianapolis Colts take Tyree Wilson, left end out of Texas Tech. They do not go quarterback. Wow. All right, Seattle. They go with Brian Breezy, defensive tackle out of Clemson. Solid pick, building up their defense. Guess they're not going quarterback. Detroit with the 6th overall pick. Will they go quarterback? They do. The Detroit Lions do not pass up CJ Stroud. And Jared Goff's time probably coming to an end there. Makes sense. I mean, someone like CJ Stroud dropping right to Detroit. That's pretty good for them. Yeah, that's pretty sweet for Detroit. With the 7th overall pick, Miles Murphy goes to the Raiders. Defensive end out of Clemson. And the Tennessee Titans with the 8th overall pick takes Peter Skoronski. So now the New York Jets are up. Do we trade up for Johnson? Obviously, we need to figure out both tackle positions. We could wait. Obviously, we if we just figured out one, right? Drafted one guy, someone like Zion Nelson in a later round, or, by the way, Will Levis is still on the board. Quentin Johnston too would be sick. There's so many options here. Paris Johnson, 6'6". He would be nice to have. He would be really nice to have. And I think, man, the Jets don't need a tackle though. Who are the Jets gonna take? Rango Johnston? They're not gonna take Paris Johnson, are they? They don't need a tackle. Do they? Let's look at the roster real quick. I can't imagine they need a tackle. They've taken a tackle quite a bit lately in previous years. Ooh. No, that's right. They took Becton a couple years ago, but then they took a guard. They took Veritek. That's who I was thinking of. So do we try to trade with the Jets to grab Johnson? Because I think he goes with... I think the Jets might take him. So we could do that. We're moving up 2 picks. Or we could trade down and fill in more depth here. I think grabbing a big-time tackle would be really nice. And getting Zion Nelson later round would be good. Offensive line would be set. I think that's the way to go. Let's see what we can do with the Jets and trading up. It's only 2 spots. So I don't think we're going to have to give up too much here. I wanted to possibly get another first for next year, but and you know, trading 11 down and trying to get a late first and a first next year, that was kind of the idea. But getting a left tackle here would be nice. Obviously we got Garrett Bowles, but we're more than likely going to move on from him. Oh, I guess we could trade him now. Huh. Interesting. We could trade him now. Ooh, we could trade him to the Jets. I guess that makes sense. Do they have the cap room though? No. We would have to bring on someone else. Like another bad contract and then flip that, right? But it would make sense for the Jets to get someone like Garrett Bowles. But they have 0 cap room. We would have to take on someone like who's making a lot of money. Someone like CJ Mosley. We could take on, right? 31 years old. Gosh. No, I think we just move Garrett Bowles to somewhere else. Okay, so obviously we want pick 9. We'll move Garrett Bowles to somewhere else. I think we might be able to get a late first for Garrett Bowles. Or at least an early second. Okay. So I think at this point, we'll trade pick 11. And gosh, it's only 2 picks, so we might have to give up a third. Do I want to give up a third though? We might have to. I don't think we can get away with a 5th unless we give up a pick next year. Like a third next year and just try and fill that in with maybe moving someone like Darby later on and someone else. Maybe even moving Gregory at some point, right? Getting that pick back. A future 3rd and 4th. I think that's a lot though. I feel like that's a lot. It's only 2 picks. A future 3rd and this year's 5th. How about that? Moving up 2 spots here with the New York Jets. That is accepted. We'll think about moving Garrett Bowles here in a bit. But let's go ahead and make our selection. We're moving up to pick number 9. Remember, this is basically the Justin Simmons pick, right? So essentially we traded Justin Simmons for a guy in Paris Johnson Jr. here. That's going to solidify left tackle. We're moving on from Garrett Bowles. Yeah, I think that's the right move. I think that's the right move. We're taking Paris Johnson Jr. here. 93 strength, 73 speed, 73 acceleration, star or better development. 6'6", 315 pounds, only 21 years old, out of the Ohio State. I think it's a good pick. I think it's a good pick. Hopefully he develops really well, but I think that's something that we have to do. If we're gonna stick with Russell Wilson for another year, I think that's something that we absolutely have to do. The Atlanta Falcons take Antonio Johnson, safety, out of Texas A&M. So the New York Jets will go ahead and take Kelly Ringo. So they're pairing Ringo with Sauce. That's pretty good for the Jets. I think that works out really well for the Jets. Jordan Addison to Carolina. The Houston Texans take Trenton Simpson. The New England Patriots select Brian Branch. Okay. The Green Bay Packers select Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter dropping all the way to Green Bay is kind of insane. The Washington Commanders take Christian Gonzalez. The Pittsburgh Steelers take Will Levis. I hate this game. The Detroit Lions select Michael Mayer. So they traded their tight end and Hawkinson last year. Now they go with Michael Mayer this year. Interesting. The Baltimore Ravens select Noah Sewell. That's the most Ravens pick ever. The New York Giants select a right guard, Osiris Torrance, out of Florida. The Los Angeles Chargers select Isaiah Foskey, right outside linebacker. The Dallas Cowboys select the BJ Ojolari. So getting some edge rushing help with him or him, Micah Parsons now. That will be pretty sweet. The Cincinnati Bengals will select Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. And just like that, we are already up. Okay. Okay. Interesting. What do we do here? Do we trade down? We could trade down with Tampa Bay and pick up a third next year. That's an option. I don't want to go past that mock draft had Kansas City selecting Bijan Robinson. I'm taking Robinson to avoid him going to Kansas City. No shot am I letting Patrick freaking Mahomes have Bijan Robinson. Nope. Hell no. Okay, so Tampa Bay is offering a future third? What is Jacksonville offering anything? Because as long as we stay in front of Kansas City, no. Okay, let's do this then. I'm gonna pick up a third from Tampa, so we'll just go back one spot here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Anthony Richardson. All right, so there's Tom Brady's replacement. I don't know if Tom is still there or not, but that will be his replacement. Solid pick by Tampa Bay. So at this point, can we pick up one more pick from Jacksonville or no? Are they good with where they're at? Yeah. Okay. I think I'm taking Bijan Robinson, or else he's going to Kansas City. I'm not letting that happen. And like I said earlier, bringing in someone like Bijan Robinson, who obviously with Javonte missing quite a bit of time, the injury is a big concern, and having multiple running backs is nice. We could go with someone like Quentin Johnson as well, who I really like, or Jackson Smith-Njigba, but I want to really focus on Jerry Jeudy this year. Quentin Johnson isn't super fast, which is a bit of a worry, right? He's a big receiver, but I just traded Cortland Sutton. It doesn't really make sense. Neither of them are speed demons or anything like that. Getting someone like Joey Porter could be interesting. Trading down, again, that's something that we could do. I would love to have Jordan Battle, Henry To'oTo'o, but again, those guys might be second round picks. So, and getting someone like Kayshon Boutte is, I mean, he's fast. Gosh, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Having him and Jerry Jeudy and that speed with KJ Hamler. Woo! Oh, that could be interesting. That might be the way we go. Helping out Russell Wilson here. And we know our defense is solid. Obviously, we lost Justin Simmons. I don't think safety is really that impactful, though. I'm not going to lie. Whatever. Oh, man. Am I doing this? Am I really taking Bijan? He's so good. He's so good, man. There hasn't been a running back to come out that this good. He's going to go higher in real life, I feel like. He's so good. That mock draft at Kansas City taking him makes me nervous. All right, we're doing it. I'm taking Bijan Robinson. He's too good. He's too good. 92 speed, 94 acceleration, 94 agility, 91 change of direction. He's too good. He's incredible. He's an incredible running back. I'm not letting him go to Kansas City. I'm not. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Jordan Battle. Okay. The Kansas City Chiefs select Anton Harrison, a tackle. The Philadelphia Eagles take Joey Porter Jr. The Buffalo Bills select Quentin Johnson. That's a hell of a pick. The Minnesota Vikings select Jackson Smith-Njigba. That's a hell of a pick as well. The Miami Dolphins taking Clark Phillips. The Seattle Seahawks take John Michael Schmitz. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Gervin Dexter. The Houston Texans will go ahead and pick Felix and Anodiki Uzama Daiki in I'm gonna stop trying to pronounce his name. I'm butchering it. The Arizona Cardinals. It's like Cody Mouch. Okay, where are we? We're a few picks away. What do we want to do here? Because we could trade Garrett Bowles, by the way, and grab another second round pick. I really want Henry Totoa and Kayshawn. That'd be pretty sick. That would be pretty sick. We're really upping this this offense. And then at safety, I wouldn't mind just taking Brandon Joseph. I like Brandon Joseph out of Notre Dame. I really like him. And we can take him in the third. And Zion Nelson as well. I don't know if we have 2/3, but we can get one. I think that's the way to go. So let's go ahead and see what we can get for Garrett Bowles. All right, we have a trade. Garrett Bowles is headed to Chicago. So that means Chicago has gotten their tackles done. They've got Broderick Jones and Garrett Bowles, and they can figure that out from there. They're good at tackle. We're getting their second round pick, and we're getting a fourth. All right. They had a ton of picks, by the way. So I don't think they're really hurting for picks. So there you go. Now, the only question is if Henry Toto is going to be available where we are. That's the only question. Because I would like to grab him. Will Seattle take an inside linebacker? I want to say no. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to risk it. Because I really want him. Okay, so who's ahead of us? Seattle, Rams, Raiders. Okay, I don't think he's gonna go. Josh Downs goes. The Rams select Javon Foster. And Las Vegas takes... Okay, we're good. I'm taking Henry To'oto'o here. And I'm gonna trade up and grab Kayshawn. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm taking To'oto'o here. Inside linebacker. Only normal development, which is really disappointing. But Alex Singleton and him in the middle, I think, will be solid. And I think eventually he'll probably have star dev by the end of the year. Or even, probably not superstar, but at least star dev, which would be nice. 84 speed is solid. 88 acceleration is really good. So I think that speed could actually go up as we develop him. 75 strength, 82 agility. I think he's a really good player, and he's gonna impact a lot of plays for us. And helping that inside in the middle of that defense is big time. Oh wow, that worked. Okay, so we're moving up 7 spots. We're giving up a 6th round pick here with the Panthers. I feel like that's not enough, but it worked. I wanted to see where we were at, but it worked. So the Saints, they take Derek Hall, and I am going to go ahead and take Kayshawn. Is it Boutte? I don't know. I'll look it up for the next episode. So I apologize if I say anyone's names wrong. I don't know how to read. But 6 feet tall, speed demon, excellent player. I mean, he's an outstanding wide receiver out of LSU. He's really good. Only normal dev, which is a bit disappointing. But I mean, look at his speed, man. His speed, change of direction. Our offense now isn't just so reliant on Russell Wilson. We've got Jerry Jeudy. We're gonna get him the ball. We got KJ Hamler, who's a speed guy. We're gonna get him the ball. Kayshawn, we're gonna get him the ball. Bijan Robinson, Javonte Williams, Greg Dulcich. We're gonna get these guys the ball, and we really helped out our offensive line. I like that pick, and I don't know. Hopefully he's at star dev by the end of the season. All right, we are up in the third round. Remember, we traded. We have our own third, and then we traded for another third round pick. So we actually have back-to-back third round picks here, and I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm not trading down. I'm not risking it. I'm just gonna take my guys here. So we're gonna go ahead and take. Where is he? He wasn't taking. Oh, there he is. We're gonna go ahead and take Zion Nelson here. He's gonna be our right tackle, 6'5", only normal dev. But I think he's gonna be a solid player for us at right tackle. If he's not that high overall, we do have some low 70 overall guys that we can throw in right tackle. But having Zion Nelson there, I think will be a solid addition at tackle. And with our next pick, it's pretty much our Justin Simmons replacement. Will be Brandon Joseph out of Notre Dame. 6'1", 192. I like him a lot. Ran a 4.57. He's just a solid safety that I think can make a big impact with this team. So we're gonna go Brandon Joseph here. Star or better dev. 88 speed, 90 acceleration, 84 change of direction, 86 agility, 84 jumping. He's gonna be a good player for us. So Brandon Joseph, welcome to the team. And then our next pick will be in round 4. All right, so the 2023 draft is complete. I just traded our 4th, and we had a 7th that I traded for a future 4th and 7th, and then the 7th I traded for a future 7th. So let's go ahead and look at our draft class here. Paris Johnson Jr. is a 75 overall left tackle. Good enough. I will take it. Bijan Robinson is an 81 overall. He's so good. And yeah, that's going to be awesome to have. Henry To'oTo'o, 2nd round pick, 8th pick in the 2nd round, 73 overall. Keyshawn Boutte, 74 overall, 94 speed. Zion Nelson's a 71 overall, so I think he's going to be our starter at right tackle. Brandon Joseph, our 3rd round pick, is a 74 overall, so solid there. He's going to be a starting safety with Caden Stearns and PJ Locke. So overall, I think it was solid. I think it was a solid draft. I'm happy with it. Look, this team isn't very good, right? Just flat out, this team is not very good. But we're trying our best to figure it out with Russell Wilson, and then maybe next offseason we decide to move on from him. But at the end of the day, like we got to move. We got to give him as many weapons as we can to help him out. Bijan Robinson has asked a lot of questions in camp and is eager to learn more. I'm going to spend some extra time working with him after practice. Let's do immediate impact because he's going to have to play immediately, right? So, because I don't know if Javonte is actually back or not. In real life, I don't think he is, or he will be by this point. But you never know. But having those two split carries, getting 15 to 20 carries a game, he is back. But having those two getting 15 carries a game each will be really nice to have. I know some of you guys might be like, well, Javonte can carry the ball 20, 25 times. He can, but he tore up his knee, man. I don't know. I don't know how good he's going to be. Let's move Zion Nelson to right tackle as well. I'll probably go ahead and fill out the roster and make sure everyone has decent numbers and all that off camera, but I just wanted to move Zion Nelson here. And then Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick obviously back, Keyshawn, one of the young wide receivers that might work out for us. We'll see. And Brandon Joseph is our starting safety. Stearns, I'll go ahead and move to strong safety. Got PJ Locke. I'm gonna go ahead and move Darby. And then we'll have Mathis start. I might actually move Ojemudia too. We'll see. And I'm gonna move Gregory down to defensive end. So that's what it's gonna look like. We could also move Josie Jewell as well. We'll see, because I want Singleton to start. He's earned it. And then Henry To'oTo'o will be next to him. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but I like it. I like the team. I don't think we're a playoff team, but we'll see what happens. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That like button if you did. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Let me know in the comments below what you guys agreed with and what you guys didn't agree with. I'm sure a lot of you guys would not like Justin Simmons being traded, but he's 28. He's going to regress. So kind of had to. Unfortunately, that's just how Madden works. But hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in episode 2.